against a police state, against racist intersectionality, against political correctness, against mob rule, against the racist socialist left, against the victimhood liars. The idiots have been in charge way too long. And that's why you're here. For the podcast you need. All for liberty all the time. Welcome to Liberty Bites Back. With your host, Brandon Emo.
Welcome to the first episode of Liberty Bites Back. Today I'm going to go over the Libertarian Woke 2020 scandal and how intersectionality is racist. Ever since Jo Jorgensen has become the presidential nominee in 2020, the Libertarian Party has been leading into a different direction towards wokeness and intersectionality. I'm going to go ahead and go over the newest scandal that happened. The Libertarian Party was mocking Rand Paul for fearing for his life when a mob was attacking him. Rand Paul, a senator from Kentucky, was attacked in Washington, D.C. the night when Trump accepted his Republican Party nomination for president at the Republican National Convention. Without the cops around him, Senator Rand Paul, who's been shot at in the last year, also been beat up mercilessly by his neighbor to the point of needing a part of his lung removed, would have been beaten or at least pushed around by the mob that day. But now he's been mocked by the Libertarian Party's official Twitter account. And exactly what did they say? Well, they wrote a comment to another person's comment on this would have been a joke that Conan O'Brien, the famous comedian, said. He said, "Bad news. The Libertarian Convention has been canceled due to participants' moms being unwilling to give them a ride." And that just makes sense from a joke point for a comedian. You just say that. And then a person commented, also Rand Paul was afraid somebody on the sidewalk might yell at him. And what does the official Twitter account of the Libertarian Party say? Shh, you might spook him. And that was just showing how far the Libertarian Party is going. They are willing to bow to the mobs, ignoring their crazy behavior and mob tactics on the night when Rand Paul is being attacked. Now, the only one that did stand up for Rand Paul would be Justin Amash. He immediately condemned the actions of the Libertarian Party official Twitter account, saying, "I apologize to Rand Paul for this tweet from the Libertarian National Party. What happened to him was wrong. Rand has been my and our ally time and again. I'm committed to building a Libertarian Party that unites millions of Americans and works with Rand and others to advance individual liberty." And I hope he can. Because this party, it's been becoming so divisive under Jo Jorgensen. But even in the past, they've always went ahead and catered to people that aren't even libertarian. It's like they don't even care about actual libertarian ideology, exactly what we're all about. Now, I do want to let you all know that according to Dave Smith, the Libertarian Party has apologized to Rand Paul And they have fired the Rand Paul mocker. But there is no clear public apology seen anywhere. I looked all around. I can't find any public apology to Rand Paul. And I really want an outing of who said this terrible comment to him. You can't go around bowing to the mob and then also ignoring the consequences and wanting no consequence. Like, it's completely terrible. We need to know who did this so we know not to vote for this person because they're clearly taking the side of a mob. I am glad that the Libertarian Party has fired him. I get it was a joke, but I think jokes need to be funny. Now, I am going to go ahead and go over a lot more of the issues that's been happening due to Jo Jorgensen being the nominee. I'll go ahead and go over some of these with you. Now, intersectionality. It's been touched upon by Jo Jorgensen. She has been pushing for it, endorsing Black Lives Matter, and says we must be anti-racist. Like, when did the Libertarian Party become woke? I guess this year. The Libertarian Party, for the most idiotic reason, has yet again, for another year, placed itself in the culture war. And I understand exactly why they're siding with the intersectionality religion that's influenced many mobs across the nation. This is not the time. This is not the place. Liberty is not going to be found in trying to judge people due to their skin color, their race, their heritage, their gender, or their sex. All of that is prejudice. That is racist. And if you're just basing all of your thoughts, and you want people to be treated differently on their skin color, that is just despicable. But that is what Jo Jorgensen has said. She states, you must be anti-racist. Which anti-racist goes into an idea that's way different. The whole entire quote, it was the same as a Marxist's. So I'll go ahead and go over that with you as well. Let's see. She quoted a Marxist. Pretty sure it's D'Angelo. I'll go ahead and look into that. Sorry about this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Angela Y. Davis. Sorry about that. And she is a well-known Marxist. And her quote was, in a racist society, it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist. And that's That's basically what Jo Jorgensen said. She has taken the ideas of a Marxist and calling herself a libertarian. I don't even understand how she can do such a thing. The Libertarian Party is cowing to the will of extremists. Black Lives Matter, a group that is clearly Marxist. All you see is fire, destruction, riots, looting. They've not condemned looting. What has Black Lives Matter said? We support the looting. They have said that that is the way they are going to get reparations. And then, beyond even Jo Jorgensen taking the ideas of intersectionality and Marxism, she also said in another interview on July 11th on C-SPAN, after being called out by the libertarians of the party, she then states, "We from the very start have had non-libertarians sign up. So this is going to be much different movement." She sat there, folks, in July, on July 11th, she said that she was creating a much different movement. It's not the movement that we've been wanting to see in the Libertarian Party. It is instead pandering to the Democrats. This pandering cannot be accepted. I thought it was bad when Gary Johnson brought Hillary Clinton friend Republican for Life Bill Weld in. But this is even worse. Endorsing intersectionality, promoting the new religion of the far left, endorsing the Black Lives Matter, says we must be anti-racist. This is the Libertarian Woke 2020 scandal. And it doesn't even stop there. It gets even worse. It seems like the Libertarian Party, at least the ones following Jo Jorgensen at the moment, are in a thought bubble. They don't see the damage and the divisiveness that is going throughout America. The damaged and burning cities. They were calling these peaceful protests like the mainstream media. Where are they to come and talk about the private property issues from these rioters? Nowhere. You can't find many instances where Jo Jorgensen or the party itself even talks about or condemns Black Lives Matter for the property destruction. Violating property rights and violence should be condemned by the Libertarian Party. And they should condemn also the groups that are causing them. It's just ridiculous. Now, I do want to go over also how intersectionality, it is fully racist. And it's became a religion to many of these Black Lives Matter groups. They're kneeling, asking for white people to go ahead and ask for forgiveness to their ideology. Ask for forgiveness and to admit that they've done wrong. Even though most of us are not racist. They are the racists. They are dividing and treating people different based on their race, their color, their sex, their gender, and their heritage. And that is racist, prejudiced, and sexist. There's no beating around the bush on the issues of intersectionality. Now, I will go over a lot more with you. But they're pretty much going on the side of intersectionality, political correctness culture, the proletariat ideology, and they're not condemning socialism. I can't be a part of it anymore. A part of the Libertarian Party, at least this year. I cannot. I consider myself a Mrs. Caucus Libertarian. And there's no spot for me right now. No spot at all. There's nothing that could possibly be here for me. I want someone that condemns the riots, someone that condemns intersectionality and white privilege, and doesn't pander to all these political correct morons in the world. They've even attacked Brandon Straka of the Walk Away campaign. They've attacked him, and he's openly gay. This is not about protecting minorities. This is about one race, one color. It's not about anything else. I'm a native. My people's been enslaved. My people have been killed. My people have been scalped. My people have been burned. My people have been genocided. They've also been eugenicized. Most of my people as a native. Am I here rioting? No! Because I have civility. And these people do not. And a lot of them are not even the lives they are asking to protect. Many of them are now going ahead and saying, a lot of the black lives out there, they actually want more cops. They don't want to get rid of cops. But Brandon Straka of Walk Away, he was getting chased by 30 to 40 Black Lives Matter people today alone. Well, yesterday, on the 5th of September. They were being chased in Dallas. 4 to 5 blocks by 30 to 40 Black Lives Matter mobs. A big mob of 30 to 40 people chasing them. And most of them are homosexual people. It makes no sense on how this can be told that it's for minorities. The only time the Libertarian Party has condemned Joe Biden at all was in April 30th. Called him out completely, not going, oh, both of them are terrible. But the last time they've talked about Joe Biden was on April 30th. And they said it's absolutely imperative that Joe Biden doesn't run so we can get Trump out of D.C. What's that sound like? It's crazy. That's all they've said. They didn't want him to run. Well, what about now? Say something about Joe, Libertarian Party. Instead, they always just, ramble about Trump. Don't even hit both sides. Because they're pandering to the Democrats. Now, I do want to let you know, intersectionality, it's a racist ideology. It leaves most of us no future. And I am someone who fights for my future. And I hope you are too. And I always will. There's no stopping me. And all you leftist racists of wanting to judge everyone based on race and skin color, I'm going to expose you. That's the whole point of this podcast. I'm going to show the world what your ideology is about. And I will cover a lot more liberty-oriented news and a lot of different issues too. But I am aiming at that. And today, Donald Trump, he did go ahead and ban the ideas of white privilege, intersectionality, and critical race theory. He banned it on federal workers to be taught all these racist ideas, which is great. I'm glad they're not going to be taught to be a racist like most of these lefties. It's just crazy. Like, I don't understand how nobody can call out Black Lives Matter. They've been shown in Portland, the Michael Renault, he stalked a Trump supporter and executed him. The warrant shows the surveillance camera evidence that the shooting was targeted. This isn't a protest movement. It's much more. It's a racist group that goes and even kills people politically. Doesn't matter what race they are, to be exact. If you're not part of their gang, they're killing people. It's wrong-headed. It's divisive. BLM asserts that blacks are percentage-wise more prone to being abused by the police. But really, what does that have to do with resolving an abuse issue and over-policing? We need to end the drug war. We need to reduce the size and scope of government. We need to abolish not the police, but their union. Their union is what will be the best thing to abolish. They're the ones that lobby Congress and get bills passed. You need to go after them. Go after the lobbies, which is their union or their fraternity. Half of them are through the Fraternal Order of Police. You know what that is? It's a society. They call themselves brothers. That's why some areas, they don't actually tattle on the bad police, because they're in a fraternal organization. Who knows, there might be even blackmail in these fraternal organizations. It's not unlikely in fraternal organizations. But the biggest systemic flaw that's associated with intersectionality is it creates new issues and new victims. The ideology that treats people differently based on race, color, sex, gender, and heritage will not fix any issues, but makes instead more new issues in our society. Now, truly, what I think we are seeing, it will probably end. But what we are not seeing is what will be a bigger issue in the long run. Always remember, our words matter so much. It's why they censor us. We will always win when we speak. And that's very important to remember. Make sure to speak up and speak loud, or you're not going to be heard in this world. Like, they're over there setting fires to bus stops. They're going to restaurants, beating people up, breaking glass, making sure people don't eat or drink. That's loud. And you need to speak and be peaceful and let people know you're on the side of rational people. Because these are rioters. They're not protesters. And the Libertarian Party under Jo Jorgensen, it also has confused many of the newbies with their stances. Because many of them that are under Jo Jorgensen, they're saying that Joe Biden is close to a libertarian. And with their message this year, they are not really wrong in thinking so. But in reality, they are completely wrong in thinking that the Libertarian Party could ever allow anyone like Joe Biden. His ideology is completely not libertarian, but either is Jo Jorgensen's. You know, I've had this a lot too. People trying to tell people that natives aren't savages. I've never heard anyone call a native a savage, though. These are just a lot of virtue signaling people. But you know what I have had? People in their ideology call me white privileged by trying to decide my race on my color. Natives don't need your virtue signaling. And nobody needs anybody trying to judge anyone off of their skin color. None of us can help our skin color, and it is racist to do so. To be a racist like that, or a colorist, whatever you want to call it, it's completely out of line. And I do also want to go over this other thing with you real quick about I just wanted to go over how she was also going about wanting equity. Jo Jorgensen was saying that she wanted equity. And I'll go ahead and read that to you real quick, because it's flippin' crazy. Exactly how she said this. You'll never guess who she shared it from. And that's what makes it even crazier. Yeah, let me just find it real quick. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, but she shared it from an Antifa page, and it goes over how she wants equity and intersectionality, in other words. Let's see if I can find that. Sorry. Okay, here it is. She stated, equality can't wait, but more importantly, equity can't wait. Remove the barriers to freedom and see how we thrive. Let her speak, and I'll tell you more. And she shared Sunday's Capo Antifa Local 208. So a local chapter of Antifa, a picture of theirs was shared stating equality is not enough. We need equity until the barriers to access for all are removed. But that is not what is going to happen with intersectionality. In intersectionality, you treat people differently based on their race, their color, their sex, their gender, and their heritage. Maybe even their creed. For some of these people. Well, actually, they are doing the creed. They're treating Christians pretty bad. But the image shows a fence. In the first two, the fence is a wooden fence. In the first one, the little kid is, they're all on one box, one wooden box. And there's a little kid, a medium kid, and an adult. Now, the adult and the medium kid can see over the fence now because of the wooden box, but the little kid cannot. Which the first image is said to be equality. Which it's not. It's not truly people being treated equally. It's more just a very bad very bad meme. We'll pretty much just call it that. In the second image, the adult now has no box. The medium kid has one box, so he can see over, and then the little kid has two boxes, so he can see over too, over the wooden fence. And now it says that they are being treated equitably. So it's equity. These are bad illustrations for these words. Because then in the third image, it shows a chain link fence. It says all three can see the game without any supports or accommodations. Because the cause of the inequity was addressed. The systemic barrier has been removed. And the only thing with this illustration is nothing in reality is this easy to be used like this illustration. Instead, they want people to hire certain people and not hire other people, which they want it to harm Asians, they want it to harm Indian, like people from India, Indians, because all Asians are going to be not treated correctly now. all white. All of them will be overlooked as well. That's not equality. We all need to be equal. We don't need to have a racist system in place. That is ridiculous. We're all treating everyone equally right now. There's no inequality truly in the world. Everyone has a chance to be what they want to be. And for her to say that equity can't wait and it's way more important than equality, that just shows that she is an agent for intersectionality, the far left, and that she's racist. Jo Jorgensen needs to apologize for all of these issues. I hope she does. I hope she comes out and states, I was wrong to share Antifa literature. I was wrong to support Black Lives Matter. I was wrong to be an intersectionalist. Because that is the racist ideology that is spreading far and wide in America. And it needs to stop. Now, I would like to thank you for watching Liberty Bites Back, the first episode. I will make sure to make more. I do want to thank you. I hope you have a great day. Bye.